Hello, everybody, and welcome to DraftKings. That's right, it is week 10 of the English Premier League, and it's my favourite part of the week. It's when we talk about our 8-man picks. That's right, my name is Taran Atkins, I'm your host, and joining me as ever to my left, smiling Jamie Hinks, staff writer for DraftKings. Over the way there, we have Edo Del Monte, European football correspondent, and next to him, Andy Davis. Right, so, gentlemen, it's the 8-man picks time. I know you've all selected your 8 men. I'm as excited as ever. I have no idea who they've picked. We're going to start with goalkeepers, as is tradition. We're going to start at the back, and I'm going to start with Jamie. Jamie, who's your goalkeeper?
Hugo Lloris.
No.
$5,400.
Gone big.
Win, clean sheet for Spurs. Probably maybe get one save. Probably not. But yeah, Leicester have lost all 4 of their away games this season, and I think Lloris he's not even the most expensive keeper. So I think
Is he not?
No.
Oh.
David De Gea, I believe is.
Ah, Burnley, of course. They're playing Burnley.
Yeah.
So you've gone for Lloris in
Lloris,
goal.
safety.
Not cheap, but safe. Edo, who's your goalkeeper this week?
Artur Boruc of Bournemouth, because they're playing away to Middlesbrough, who are pants in attack. He's averaging almost 8 points. He's actually a pretty decent goalkeeper as well. Bournemouth have looked much better of late, and I think all of those things, when they sum up to $4,700, he's much cheaper than a lot of the prime time goalkeepers. So, my boy.
Prime time.
Prime time.
Prime
Is
time.
this a new club on NetMums?
I love that. The showbiz keepers.
I love the
Where it
word.
started by Edo Del Monte.
It's bringing the NFL to soccer.
Don't. Please.
Prime time.
Don't do that. 4,700 he is.
He is.
Wonderful, wonderful. We're talking about goalkeepers in the greatest sport in the world. That's right, football. Andy Davis, finally your goalkeeper and why?
Yeah, well, who scored 17 points last week yet still went down in price?
Oh, no.
Big Tom Heaton. Big Tom Heaton.
He's not sub 4,000 now, is he?
3,600.
What?
That's a scroll down so far to find him. My thumb hurt at the end of it. Mental.
That is insane. He's so good. I mean, I know
they're away to United, but
they're not scoring.
They're not scoring. I'm not saying Burnley are going to get battered 8-0 at United.
Wow.
Right?
No.
Maybe the problem is that he's so low at United aren't going to take any shots because they don't.
Because they don't. And he saves many.
Yeah, he saves money. Look, he's averaging 10.1. He got 17 points last week. He's 3.6,000. You guys, you're scratching your beard. You're looking away. It's because you're jealous because you forgot all about him. Because you refuse to look past 4,000.
Yeah, snobbery. You know what that is?
Past 5,000.
Goalkeeping snobbery.
You know what?
Goalkeeping snobbery.
Andy Davis, you're absolutely
Only
right.
like pram
These
time.
two gentlemen, hang on. These two gentlemen both are paid to write about football. And both of them overlooked a bargain like that from a keeper that good. Shame on you both. I'm with you, Andy.
Tom Heaton.
Tom Heaton, I'm with you. I think that's
Buena
brilliant.
revolución.
Okay, don't even know what that
He's
means.
going to score 25
When
points
he
this
lets
week.
in 8 goals, will
Next
come
week
back.
with 2 Yeah, that's true.
Right, we'll see. He will not let
Have
him.
him for dinner.
Oh, I love it. We're at each other's throats already. We've only just done the goalkeepers. We've got to move on to defenders. Edo, who are your 2 defenders and why?
Danny Rose playing for Tottenham versus Leicester City, 5,400. He's averaging 11.1 points. Kyle Walker has really dipped in terms of productivity. Well, DK productivity anyway. Of course, Rose, you've got to keep an eye out in case he does play because there are also alternatives. Whoever, I think, is it going to be Trippier on the left? He's also a very good alternative. He's actually averaging decent numbers. So whoever basically is playing as a fullback for Tottenham should really be in your lineup because, yeah, I see assists, I see lots of crosses, so I think that's a good opportunity. And possibly a clean sheet as well. I say possibly, very likely a clean sheet. Antonio Valencia is my other guy, $4,800. Just because of the crosses we saw early on in the season, he had a couple of decent games, even by DK standards. And yeah, I don't really see Man United necessarily crushing Burnley. I think they'll be dominant territorially, if nothing else. There could be a clean sheet factor in as well. So I think
They've got the beating of them, haven't they?
Yeah. So for sub 5,000, I think that as I said, I don't. The thing is, you'll realise in my lineup, I'm actually been quite a sucker for this Man United thing.
Okay.
For reasons that I'll have to explain. But yeah.
I like your choice. I do like your choices there. And I would say with the Tottenham fullback situation, it could be any of 4 really in those 2 positions. So everybody, if you don't know already, with DraftKings, you can change your lineup right until kickoff. Okay, so you've got right until Saturday. If you find out the team sheet comes out an hour before the match, oh, Danny Rose isn't playing. Boom, out he goes, getting the guy that is. You can do that with this game. That's why we're so good. Andy Davis, your defenders.
I thought I'd avoid Spurs fullbacks for a week.
Yeah.
Give them a week off.
Yeah.
Rest them bothered. So I didn't. I've gone with. Don't you peek?
Now speaking.
Don't you peek? Hey, look at you, peaky boy.
I actually don't have a midfield yet, so I'm
I've gone for Antonio Valencia.
Antonio.
Like yourself, he's a very good pick at the moment. He's last 2 games against Chelsea and Liverpool. Neither game United won. One game where United conceded 4. He's still got over 10 points in both those matches. So. Yeah, I agree. Territorially, United at home against Burnley should score a lot of points.
Good yield.
And he's only 48,000, which in the current day and age for fullbacks is relatively cheap.
It is.
I think you'll agree. And alongside him, I've gone for a player I've never picked before, young Jose Holbas of Watford, who is a great player. He's averaging 4+ crosses a game.
Yeah.
What a crosses win you, Jamie?
0.75 points.
0.75 points. And he can pop up with a goal. He's very good at home, and they're at home to Hull. So I would expect Watford
gimme.
to hammer them,
Yeah.
particularly on the Holbas flank.
Yeah, Holobas.
Holbas.
Holbas.
I do know everybody. Those of us that watch this every week.
A little bit of
Those of us that
lag.
watch this every week, you will know that Jamie, you've been championing Holobas for some
Holbas,
time.
yeah.
So I'm
Holbas
excited.
flank, I've
Have you
done a
got
bit of that.
Holobas? Who are your defenders?
First off, I just want to say I've been incredibly disappointed with one defender the last couple of weeks who's really annoyed me, James Milner.
I know.
He never scores enough
You
points.
keep championing him,
I
mate.
know, and I championed him 2 weeks in a row and he did nothing.
And he still costs around $7,000.
Yeah, this week he's gone.
Goal.
He's out. How much is he worth, though, first?
He's 7 again.
Oh, ridiculous. Come on.
Instead, I've gone for the Holbas flank
There we go.
on the flank.
On the flank.
Yeah, it's just I think it's such a good spot at home to Hull.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised if they don't give him an absolute stuffing, which you'll realise later on as well. And alongside him, Daley Blind, because became a little bit obsessive Man United on this slate, like Edo, I think.
Okay.
And Blind takes the corners, and he'll definitely be playing because Eric Bailly is now injured, which means I think it'll be Shaw on the left, who could prove really good value on DraftKings, I think, if he starts.
Hopefully he gets the chance.
Yeah, because I don't think his price is like, exceedingly high. Just all the Man United defenders this week, so I think they'll get a clean sheet, and then the bonus will come from the crosses, the corners, and maybe even a headed goal from one of them.
You never know. I mean, I would not be that confident with Man U myself at the moment, but Danny Blind will certainly play. He is favoured by Jose, who seems to really like him. Okay, midfielders. This is where it gets juicy, everybody. And who better to bring the juice than Edo Del Monte? Who is your midfielders, sir?
Juicy Edo.
Juicy Edo. He's a good-looking boy. Look at him.
Or Jinxie.
Juicy
Edo.
Del Monte.
Juicy Edo.
I, of course, am as much into juice as OJ Simpson was my personal hero. No, Jesse Lingard at 4,900.
Every week, Edo will go for a below-the-line gag. Here we
Which
go.
part of his career were you the big fan of?
The American football.
Not the.
Not the Naked Gun movies.
No, saw the series though. The series is A, exceptional, and B, proves that he definitely did it. Even though he probably, I don't know. Yeah.
Cleared in court for some reason, but yes,
There we go.
accused double murderer.
If you haven't seen the film,
But you know what? Who's your double murderers in the
Danny
midfield? That's
Simpson.
what you
We've
want to know.
still got to OJ Simpson.
No, Jesse Lingard, 4,900. He's getting some.
How is that together?
OJ Simpson to Jesse.
Well, because I called him the juice.
What
The
an incredible
juice.
segue.
Guys, let me clear this up. If you don't know any
your
better,
fault.
because you're a young man, I said bring the juice. Of course, Arakpo James Simpson, OJ Simpson was known as the juice. Forgive us, we're taking too much of your time already. Give us your midfielders and you guys shut up.
No, Jesse Lingard's averaging good points for someone who's 4,900. Again, there's territorial dominance to be expected against Burnley. And I do actually think that, you put that Lingard, Rashford, Zlatan trio up front. I think actually that's going to potentially do something. It'll be exciting to watch them play with each other.
Sorry.
I know, but it is Burnley, so we can see crosses, we can see passes, we can potentially see an assist in there. And the other guy, this is Cray, Mata, who's averaging nearly 9 points a game, 6,600. And the reasoning behind that is that actually Mata, he won't really. You get the feeling that Chelsea did well to sell him to United for something that was in the region of 35 million, but he has statistics that are comparable almost to Wayne Rooney's initial Man United. I think in the first 49 games or so for United, I don't think anyone has been involved in as many goals as Rooney, but I think Mata is a close second. He gets loads of assists as
Always
well.
involved.
So his numbers are quite decent, and I think for 6,600, the potential is there to sort of do something against Burnley.
Right.
And there.
Yeah, so you've got for a Man United stack, and Edo's very much looking forward to seeing that Man United midfield play with each other. We're not. But there we go. Rashford's an interesting one, isn't it? Because I think on the right he's wasted. That's my personal opinion. I think a lot of people avoid him. So maybe that'd be an interesting pick. Andy Davis, yourself, your midfielders.
Right, I think there's going to be points at West Brom, Man City, but I don't know who's for. So I've picked two players from either midfield. I've got for Nasser Chadli. 6.9 thousand, averages 12.5 points a game. He's averaging 27 points a game at home. So at home, he does a lot. I've got a theory with Nasser Chadli. When he was at Tottenham, he was very, very good when he had a consistent run in the side. He's not one of those players that can go in and out of the team. But in Pochettino's first season, Nasser Chadli was an excellent player. Last season, he dropped off because he was injured, so he was in and out of the side, and he needs a run of games. And I think we're seeing that at West Brom. Now, they are playing Manchester City. I expect City to win, but Nasser Chadli is the kind of player that can get you points whether or not West Brom win or lose. So I've got him
Good choice.
in there, 6.9 thousand. And alongside him, I had to take my pick of a Man City midfielder. So I've gone for Raheem Sterling at 7.8 thousand. Averages 13.9 points a game, but I could have easily just have picked David Silva. I just feel that Man City are going to do something against West Brom. They can't go on a winless run forever. And this probably isn't the week it will happen, but hey, you never know.
I think it might. I really like your midfield.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, I really do. Jamie, impress me. Impress me like Andy just did.
I
Who's your midfield?
really like my midfield. I feel
Go
like
on.
I've really
I'll be
enjoyed.
the
I feel
judge.
like it's when you go on Football Manager and you're like, right, I've got all the money. I'll go and buy Paul Pogba for 7,000.
You didn't.
I did. Prime time, the Mr. Prime Time. Edo mentioned prime time.
Time, is what you said.
Pam time. Paul Pogba.
Prime time, Paul Pogba. That's a brilliant
Right.
nickname.
Treble P.
Yeah.
Or PTPP, if you want to be pernickety. Sooner or later, I think he's going to start playing really well.
And why not Burnley?
Why not against Burnley? Only Zlatan averages more shots than Pogba, which is 3.1 per game. This kind of plays into the hands of Heaton. But Pogba's really good at shooting from distance. He used to score like one really good goal every season for Juve. So why
This
not?
could be the one.
Why not this game?
The Fear of Dreams. Yeah.
And he also dribbles more than any other Man United player as well. Alongside him, Wilfried Zaha of Crystal Palace, who got an assist last week, was man of the match in a lot of places that I read match reports, and I'd love him. So
You love him.
he's already equalled his assist count from his best ever Premier League season, which is 2. So we're a big night. Obviously, he's played 8 games this season, so I'm expecting you to get at least 10 this season, Wilfried.
There you go. You heard it from smiling Jamie Hinks, Wilfried Zaha. Pull your finger out. It's your time. Right, strikers. My favourite bit. Who you've gone for? Lots of strikers on offer this weekend. Now I'm going to start with Jamie. I'm going to go straight back to you, my friend. Who are your
Right,
strikers?
this is the end of the United stack.
Good.
Zlatan Ibrahimovic,
Right.
7,300. No player averages more shots in the Premier League than Zlatan because he's nice and selfish. 5 shots
Greedy,
a game.
greedy man.
Very good for DraftKings because I think he gets quite a lot of them on target as well. And he does have 4 goals this season, which is, if he scores 4 here, he'll be the top scorer in the Premier League.
He won't score 40. No. But
He
good
might do. He
choice.
scored 38 goals last season in the
France.
Yeah.
Yeah, next.
And Odion Gallo,
Ooh, that guy.
600. Yeah,
Hull thing.
Hull are really
Hull factor.
bad. He averages more shots than any other Watford player. He only averages 2.5 shots per game, but I've got a feeling he's going to go underowned because I don't think people trust him. I think against Hull is the kind of game where he'll get a couple of goals. I don't trust Capoue or anyone like that.
How much cheaper is he than, say, Troy
Slightly
Deeney?
cheaper than Deeney, I think. How much is? We may find out.
Not too
Someone
sure.
else is Deeney,
But Deeney would be in my team.
I'm pretty sure Deeney's a little bit not too expensive, a little bit more expensive. So take a Gallo.
Excellent. All right, strikers, we are on. And now I'm on to you, Edo. Who are your strikers and why?
At 7,600, Christian Benteke, who's playing Liverpool for Crystal Palace. There's the revenge factor. There's the fact that I'm still expecting him to have that breakout game where he goes absolutely crazy and scores, 2 goals. And this could potentially be it. I personally don't necessarily think it's going to be the case, but I think I think the floor, if we want to talk in American terms, is going to be high anyway because he averages over 10 points.
Yeah.
And I think the ceiling, the potential, what could happen.
I love it because he's got reason to do well against a team that spurned him, and a
Yeah.
manager that spurned him, and against a defence that surely at some point someone's going to beat up. It could be
Yeah, and I mean, they've always, I can't remember when Liverpool's last clean sheet was. They'll keep conceding 1 goal, even if they crush someone like they did against Leicester City at home, they'll still concede. They crushed Hull, they conceded. They played against West Brom.
They will switch off at some point.
Yeah, so I'm not that convinced. So 7,600, I think, is a pretty reasonable price for someone like that. Sadio Mane at 8,000 because The problem with Liverpool, and I think the problem with City as well, is that any one of those guys can go in and score.
Yeah.
So it's not like Benteke, who's probably going to be fed the ball a lot. Andros Townsend, who does all those Androsy things that will get him points. Sometimes with Man City, if you don't pick, say, the right guy, like there was one weekend I picked Raheem and he got a brace, and someone who picked Nolito would have got 5 points. So there's a little bit of a fear factor there. But at 8,000, I'm just a big fan of Sadio.
Yeah.
If you look at who scored ratings, for example, they take a lot of these Opta numbers that we use at DraftKings. And Sadio is a top 10 player according to those rankings. So that was literally at one stage. It was a coin toss between him, Firmino and Coutinho. And I thought, well, I wanted maybe more Firmino or Mane for how they score. And I think, 8,000.
Great choices. You've got my favourite forward lineup so far, and I'm with you. Mane is my favourite Liverpool player so far this season. I think to come in with that price tag and the impact he's had, he's been absolutely phenomenal. But can Andy Davis better that? That's the question. Andy, who are your strikers, my friend?
I've gone for Son Heung-min of Tottenham. If he plays, if he doesn't play, I'll sub him out for Zlatan or something like that. But I think if Son does play, he'll get a lot of joy against Leicester.
How much is he?
He's 7.5 thousand. And yeah, at home, I think he'll do well against Leicester. But yeah, you can sub him out if at the end of at 5-3 if he's not on the in the starting lineup. Then alongside him, I've gone for captain, leader, legend Troy Deeney. I'll tell you how much he is, Jamie. It's 6.9 thousand.
Oh, too much for me.
But yeah, for the same reasons that Jamie picked.
Yeah, but
they're playing Hull.
More of a sure thing. Takes
More
the
of a sure thing.
penalties, always involved.
He's a set. I mean, Igalo, he's okay.
He's all-
He's
I just wanted
okay.
to try him a bit of love because I always criticise him so much.
You're always criticising for a reason because he's no Troy
Yeah,
Deeney.
but it's like the one week when you took Lukaku. Like you've got to take them at some point.
Yeah.
I like your choices. I think Son will definitely play. I think he definitely will. I can't. I know they've got Leverkusen.
In Deeney and Son, I've
Such
probably
an engine.
potentially the Premier League's best strike force.
And I think you've got my favourite. You've now got my favourite strike force of the day. I have to say because of Jalbert, Troy Deeney.
When
who I
there
particularly
were
do like.
the incredible mental rumours that Spurs were going to sign Troy Deeney in the summer, I was excited about seeing him up front with Son. It would have been. I genuinely think possibly not. No, Europe's greatest.
I'll tell you what. Forget the Jamie Vardy story, everybody. The Troy Deeney story.
That's what we want.
That will kick it. And I don't have to go into details. Just Wikipedia Troy Deeney. And give him a thumbs up for turning his life around. He's fantastic. Great choice. My favourite strike partnership. You know what? Those are only 7 men, though, isn't it? Yeah. With DraftKings, it's an 8-man lineup. And this is when we get to the utility player. This is where you take whatever remainder you've got from your budget and you go and spruce it over to a player of any position that you see fit. So I'm always excited about this, and I always leave Jamie to last because I'm always inspired by your choices. So let's start with Edo. Edo, who is your utility player and why have you picked him?
Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and this has to be the end of my Man United stack.
Well, you've pretty much picked the whole United team.
Pretty much, yeah. And I think part of that logic was I wanted to get Townsend again. And why do you get Townsend? Guaranteed points. And I thought I could maybe get cheaper, more guaranteed points with, as ridiculous as it sounds, Lingard and Mata. And then maybe go. Zlatan's the dare. That's why he's.
Yeah.
So Lingard was actually a guy I picked in midfield originally. He wasn't, I have money left, Lingard is there. No, he's not my utility. Zlatan's my utility as more of a symbolic thing. It's a risk because he hasn't scored in a while. But
It is a risk.
got his first assist recently, which was impressive. I believe it was his first assist. Either way, it was his first assist in a long while, if not the case.
It's like a dad talking about his kid at school. Got his first assist last week. Well done, son.
I am
Well done.
exceedingly proud of him, and he's a special.
A for attainment.
He's a special. He still plays with crutches, but he's all right.
You know what, my friend? Let me remind you that Jose Mourinho was manager of Chelsea last year, and Burnley came down to Stamford Bridge and
came to
won
Hull.
1-0.
Yeah.
And you know what? Wouldn't surprise me if that happened. And if that does happen, you're going to have one of the worst weeks in DraftKings history, my friend.
You will, unless these guys
You will.
get
If Man United,
gazillion crosses.
if United lose and don't score a goal, you are sacked.
crosses.
We're going to get you out of here.
The O.J. Simpson comment isn't going to get me.
No, we're all right about that. It's just your choices. That's fine. Andy Davis, who's your utility player and why?
Well, James was down on him, but I had exactly 7,000 left, so I picked James Milner. I haven't picked him all season, and he's been great. He's been rubbish recently, but I figured, why not?
You know what? If anyone's been following this show week in, week out, I hope you have. Share with your friends. Andy, you've been making some very, very good picks lately. And we've not mentioned it, but Andy's been smashing this the last couple of weeks since he's been back from America. And last week
I smashed it
particularly.
before.
Yeah, all right, don't be cocky about it, mate.
That's a
I'm
challenge.
trying to give you the big up here, and you're being all cocky about it.
Sorry,
Don't
that's
do
true,
it.
but I've been doing all right.
So if Andy says Milner this week, pay attention to him. Don't pay attention to Jamie when he's been
So
saying
let's
it.
just remember what I did for Mark Noble last season.
That's true.
Picked him 3 times and he scored 6 goals.
Still no England cap though.
Brutal. I don't like him. But anyway, that's besides the point. Finally, our last utility player, our last panelist, Jamie Hinks. Who's your utility player, my friend, and why?
Stuart Downing.
Whoa.
6,600. Yes, I feel a little bit dirty after picking Downing.
I've dropped my pen. I've dropped my pen because of that. That's bananas.
Yeah, he loves crosses, loves set pieces, and averages 6.3 crosses per game. You can see him trying to convince myself.
Yeah, you are.
Middlesbrough could quite easily get a win against Bournemouth. Bournemouth aren't that good. Like I know
They're too good for Middlesbrough.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Like this could be the week when David Nugent scores.
Wow.
No, Jordan Rhodes will score, and Stuart Downing will get the assist.
No one's mentioned Negredo anymore, I've noticed.
Yeah, no.
He's dead to us, right? Okay.
He's more lazy than Charlie Austin.
Oh, he's worse. He's the worst.
And he doesn't score. So
Stuart Downing, interesting choice.
I mean, I think I just want the guaranteed points, and for some reason he looks quite cheap at that price.
And what's his average points?
It's around 10. It's not low.
That's
He's flying up there, but also he didn't start last week, so I'm also interested in Adama Traore if he starts, who I think broke some kind of running record last week, but didn't get many points on draft.
It's all about the drafting points, though. Come on, it's about the
But
points.
yeah, here Downing or Gaston Ramirez as well. Get on these guys this week.
Oh, there you go. There's Jamie's tips. You know what? They've all done something quite remarkable, the three boys today. They've left a lot of money for the utility player rather than the back at the change there, falling down back of the sofa.
I've put Picking Tom Eaton does it.
That's it. Picking Tom Eaton. Andy, team of the week as far as I'm concerned. Seriously, listen to Andy. These journalists know nothing. But I've said things like this and been bit on the arse many times, so they're all good. Right,
Come on, Wilf.
Let's look at their teams, everyone. Let's start with Andy's. There he is, little smiley fella in the corner. Tom Heaton, look at that, the bargain of the week, 3,600 for an outstanding goalkeeper. And there will be shots to be saved. I reckon he'll get big points. Well done, Andy. On that, so he's gone for Halabas and Valencia in defence. Good reason. Look at the points there. Chadley, a man with a point to prove after Pochettino kicked him out. He's been playing very well. Good choice again. Sterling, not playing too bad. Look at that. 14, around the 14 there. Troy Deeney, our favourite jailbird. He is immense. And I think he's going to have a cracking game at home against Hull. Then he's gone for Son of Tottenham, who everyone's picking at the moment. And that's, yeah, look at that. Look at the points he's been amassing weekly. And then there's James Milner. He's been quiet for a few weeks. But can he do it in London this weekend? Now let's move on to Edo. There he is, Louis Theroux in the corner there. His Scientology movie. It's gone for Artur Boric in goal. Good choice, I think, because Bournemouth are on a roll. Danny Rose of Valencia, the defenders, a rampaging fullback. Very good choice there. Lingard and Mata for the Man U stack in the middle. Then, can he get revenge against Liverpool? It's Benteke, everybody. And then Sadio Mane, who I think has definitely probably been one of the best buys of the season, apart from Kante. And finally, he's gone for big Zlatan Ibrahimovic as a utility player. Surely he's going to get some points against Burnley. We'll see. And finally, Jamie Hinks. Jamie Hinks has been playing it very safe with his goalkeepers the last few weeks, and he's done so again with Hugo Lloris. Good choice. It's a safe bet, but very uninspiring. Not Hollywood. I'd rather go with Heaton. It's gone for Danny Blind. There, over 8 points average there. And Halabas, also like Andy. There he is, primetime Paul Pogba. The world's most expensive footballer has made it into the team in the middle next to Wilfried Zaha, a man who's yet to realise his full potential. Maybe this weekend. Zlatan up front with Igalo, a man no one picks, so that's a pretty good spread, I think. It could be his week. And finally, the forgotten winger. That's right, left-footed Stuart Downing is his utility player. Those are our picks, everybody. I've really enjoyed your picks today, gentlemen. I think they've been cracking. And there's a lot of points on offer. I think it's a very exciting weekend. Loads of good matches. But you know what? This is all worthless if you haven't already downloaded the DK app. DraftKings, everybody, get it down onto your mobile phone, your tablet, your home computer. You've got a $50,000 budget. You can put a little bit of money in there yourself, and you can win prizes. Or you can just beat your friends. You can even beat us. Won't be hard. But everybody, this is DraftKings, a game of skill, a wondrous, wondrous thing. Get it down there. You can win big. Welcome to the big time.